I am the president of FITSE.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, Honourable Ministers, Honourable colleagues, members of the House. Honourable Deputy Speaker, it is an honour and privilege for me to rise in this August House to acknowledge and contribute to the debate on the 2016 budget as introduced by the Honourable Minister for Finance, which is forward-looking and thought-provoking. Honourable Deputy Speaker, as the new Minister for Employment, Productivity and Industry Relations, I accepted this challenging and exciting role, convinced to contribute to government's overall commitment to provide a focused service delivery to all Fijians. Honourable Deputy Speaker, I also take this opportunity to thank and congratulate my predecessor, who is now our new President, His Excellency Major General Konrate. Honourable Deputy Speaker, I commend and support the Honourable Minister of Finance on his foresight, wisdom, strength and confidence in introducing the 2016 budget. Honourable Deputy Speaker, given the overall confidence in our economy as it continues to grow with a forecast of 4% in 2015 and a projected forecast growth of 3.5% and 3.1% in 2016 and 2017 respectively. The formulation of our 5-year and 20-year development plans in early 2016, as stated by the Minister of Finance, articulates the vision of the country Fijians want to live in by 2035, with a strong emphasis on self-regulation, public participation and ownership. Honourable Deputy Speaker, we as a nation have established our 2013 Constitution as our solid base for reform and modernization to provide quality services whilst respecting the freedom of every citizen. Honourable Deputy Speaker, the 2016 budget is bold, practical and real way forward to fulfill these constitutional promises to all Fijians. Honourable Deputy Speaker, the 2016 budget will enable all Fijians to participate, take ownership in the socio-economic development of our nation. Honourable Deputy Speaker, the medium-term strategy as expressed by the Minister of Finance, which include, among others, fast-tracking of structural and civil service reforms, land reforms to fulfill the long overdue needs by all Fijians for a quality and timely service delivery that meets the basic needs of ordinary Fijians. Honourable Deputy Speaker, our 2016 budget priority sectors are expressed by the Minister of Finance include housing, education, health, infrastructure, agriculture, fisheries and forestry. Honourable Deputy Speaker, such bold and visionary leaps through our 2016 budget allocation will continue to provide all citizens the forward to work harmoniously as Fijians and move our nation forward. Labour reforms. Honourable Deputy Speaker, Fiji's labour reforms have resulted in historic progress since the implementation in the 1990s with the successful rollout of 6 of the 7 phases of reforms. Honourable Deputy Speaker, I'm grateful to the 2016 allocation of 17.3 million towards the labour reform, which is an increase of 1.5 million compared to 2015. Honourable Deputy Speaker, please allow me to elaborate on the progress of key labour reforms in our country. OHS reform. Honourable Deputy Speaker, occupational health and safety reform was at the forefront of overall labour reforms that resulted in the enactment of the Health and Safety at Work Act 1996 and the establishment of the National OHS Service in 1998. The strategic intent was to repeal and replace the outdated Factories Act and replace it with a modern and progressive OHS legislation and institution that promotes a proactive risk management policy summarized by the philosophy that those that create the OHS risk and those that work with those risks must have the primary responsibility to resolve those risks. For 2016, our National Occupational Health and Safety is allocated 2.2 million. Employment and Relations Reform. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the OHS policy was adopted to reform the former 2003 Industrial Relations Bill into the 2004, 2005, and 2006 Employment Relations Bill, which became law as the Employment Relations Promulgation of 2007. Honorable Deputy Speaker, for the first time in Fiji's history, the vulnerable non-unionized, comprising of 70% of the employment sector, are empowered under the ERP to access the mediation services at no cost and the Employment Relations Tribunal. The Employment Relations Tribunal was established in 2008 and is an institution that adjudicates on matters regarding employment, health and safety, and workers' compensation laws. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Employment Relations Reform has an allocation of 4.1 million in 2016. Productivity Reform. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the ERP repealed and replaced 6 outdated pieces of labor legislation and replaced them with an innovative, modern policy framework that integrates the promotion of good faith employment relations with productivity improvement, which are fundamental for a progressive and stable labor market and overall socio-economic development. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the ERP requires all employers employing 20 and more workers to establish a labor management consultation and cooperation committee to provide good faith employment relations and productivity improvement. Wages reform. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as Minister responsible for implementing the rights of workers to a just minimum wage, I'm glad to report to this August House that our national minimum wage has increased from $2 per hour to $2.32 per hour. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the implementation of this national minimum wage threshold would assist some 100,000 Fijian workers and their families nationwide. Honorable Deputy Speaker, our wages reform has an allocation of 250,000 in 2016 towards the monitoring of the national minimum wage. Workers' compensation reform. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Ministry has reviewed the Workers' Compensation Act, increasing the amount payable to all deaths and injuries sustained at the workplace. I am glad to state that the amount payable for all deaths has been increased by more than double, with a new amount being payable at $50,000, effective from 17 July 2015. As part of our social justice commitment, we successfully managed to distribute the health care assistance for our Christmas Island veterans. From the total of 276 veterans earmarked under this assistance, 281 veterans has been assisted to date under the Operation Grapple in 2015. We are grateful that a total of 5 million has been allocated towards the workers' compensation payout in 2016. Our economy has undergone notable growth in the last 3 years. We have garnered support and interest from the regional and wider international community and have used this as our nation's advantage. We have put into place fiscal policies which will have facilitated both foreign and local investment, spurring entrepreneurial development in different sectors. We have grown our industries and continue to do further. The growth of this industry directly leads to the creation of job opportunities. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the government has been criticized for its capital expenditure and infrastructure development, This is despite the fact that this development has directly created employment opportunities for our people, as well as the insurmountable other benefit that has made it possible for our economy. Honourable Deputy Speaker, members of the opposition complain about the supposed lack of opportunities and then complain about the actions taken to provide job opportunities. They wield their pessimism with little regard to logic or consistency. But no matter, we shall continue to persevere and work to the benefit of all Fijians regardless. Honourable Deputy Speaker, we are grateful for the increased allocation of 3.8 million towards the National Employment Centre in 2016. Government has established NEC in 2010 under the NEC Decree 2009 with an initial funding of 800,000. And the increase in budget allows us to put into action further plans to address employment concerns and as I stated earlier, bring the unemployment rate down to 4.2% by 2017. Foreign employment services. Honourable Deputy Speaker, labour mobility under the trading services will be a major avenue for us to provide foreign employment opportunities to Fijians through the National Employment Centre. The Ministry has completed the pilot phase for the New Zealand Recognised Employer Scheme, RSE, administered by the Ministry of Employment, Business, Innovation and Employment. New Zealand and my ministry, through the National Employment Centre, with the successful engagement of 31 pilot Fijian workers on a 7-month work engagement under a limited visa condition. I am grateful to state that the employers' responses have been very promising. This indicates the potential for an increase in demand of our workers to New Zealand in the new season from November 2015. Honourable Deputy Speaker, in May 2015, we sent our first 4 workers to Australia through the first employer, Plant Grow Pig Limited in Queensland, for 6 months. That number has seen increased to an additional 108 workers by October 2015. Further, the same employer has expressed his intention to recruit another 90 workers by November 2015. The prospects are very promising. Honourable Deputy Speaker, we are mindful of the needs of our local employers, whilst at the same time see the foreign employment opportunities available to our people to accept the opportunity to work, earn, learn, save and return home with more terms of skills, knowledge, confidence and savings to invest locally. Fiji Volunteer Services. Excuse me. Honourable Deputy Speaker, the Honourable Minister of Finance announced the transfer of the Fiji Volunteer Service from the PSC back to my ministry with its staff and allocation of 1.4 million in 2016. I commend with gratitude this strategic move, which will fit well with the National Employment Centre. Honourable Deputy Speaker, by way of background, the Fiji Volunteer Service is one of the 4 employment creation services established under NEC, but was transferred to PSC in 2012 and was heavily involved with the recruitment of retirees and engagement of a number of Pacific Island countries such as Marshall Islands, Nauru, Vanuatu and Tuvalu. The FVS is also involved with the engagement of local volunteers. We will continue to promote and utilize the volunteer services nationally, regionally, and internationally in 2016 and in future as part of Fiji's development cooperation. Operational management reform. Honourable Deputy Speaker, given the productivity is also my portfolio, we have included an additional component of our labour reform as our operational management reform. Under this component, we have restructured our operations and documented our service system and process benchmark to ISO 9001 and 2008 Quality Management System. I am grateful that we have been given $350,000 in 2016 to fulfill this strategic intervention. Honourable Deputy Speaker, overall Fiji's labour reform has resulted in better and more opportunities for both employers and workers. The labour reforms gave specific duties and responsibilities to the key stakeholders. For employers, and labour reform provided them with new and better business opportunities. The reforms provided more opportunities for workers in terms of better and safe workplaces, better coverage for wages and other terms and conditions, including their social security during their term of employment. At the same time, the reforms empowered both employers and workers to be accountable and responsible in resolving employment grievances and other workplace matters such as productivity, occupational health and safety, and including redundancy. Honourable Deputy Speaker, our labour reform incorporates a new workplace culture of self-regulation, non-discrimination, equal employment opportunities, responsibility and accountabilities of parties, safe and productivity-based workplace, good faith employment relations, and green productivity. The coverage and safety nets available to workers and potential workers have increased tremendously under the reform laws. The unemployed people with disability, retirees, informal and rural workers, young people, including children, and women are catered for and protected under the reform labour laws. Honourable Deputy Speaker, given the law reforms, the socio-economic benefits to employers, workers, investors, potential workers, unemployed, and the nation is enormous, which directly contributes towards better workplace relations and thus contribute to wider social and economic security and stability. Honourable Deputy Speaker, in conclusion, I support the 2016 budget, which is, as I have highlighted, as the people's budget, and I thank you sincerely. Naka.